Hey everybody, it is Princess Friend, and I am here with a review! Yay! Before I get started, check out our merch store if you like shirts like this that I've designed. They're pretty cool. Today's review is going to be for an album called Against the Current by a rapper called Chali 2na. It was released in 2013, and this is actually the first EP in a series of 3 EPs that he released. And I actually discovered Chali 2na from Epic Rap Battles. I don't know how many of you watch that, but I watch it whenever they come out with a new one. And he actually ended up playing Neil deGrasse Tyson on the Isaac Newton versus Bill Nye battle. And it was pretty damn good, I have to tell you. I loved that he had an original voice because it's super deep. And he didn't just coast on that though. Like, that wasn't just like, I'm the rapper with the deep voice. Like, he had really good flow. He delivered his lines expertly. And I was like, you know what? That was really good. Let me go ahead and check him out a little bit further. So the first thing that I wanted to know was why his name was Chali 2na. You know, all the rappers and stuff have their own reasons why. And his name is actually a reference to Charlie the Tuna, who is the mascot for Star-Kissed Tuna. That's my favorite tuna, first off. I like it when it's packed in oil. But, I don't know, for me, that showed that he had a pretty good sense of humor. Chali 2na, I think that it's pretty awesome. It kind of reminds me of Tech Nine's because he's got a number in there, and I think it's just pretty interesting the way that rappers end up getting their names. He began with a group called Jurassic 5, which was him and 4 other rappers, and they all had their different flows and stuff. They kind of started together. And he even was part of a funk salsa group called Ozomatli, and that's actually, they're on here a little bit too, that you're going to be able to hear some of that. So, I don't know, for me that means that he's actually really well-rounded. So this was the first one that I listened to, but I've been listening to a bunch of his different mixtapes and EPs and stuff. He's really good. Not all mixtapes or EPs end up being all that good. He only had one actual album release, which was in 2009. That was Fish Out of Water. He uses a lot of like fishy terminology and stuff, so I mean, I think this is probably one of the better mixtapes that I've heard. It's pretty short, and I think you're gonna like it too, so why don't we go ahead and check out these tracks.
I'm outspoken. Language is broken into a slang that is just a dialect, and I select when I hang my mouth so that you check in my slang. This is the dialect and I select when I hang. I weather the storm like hurricane shutters, and my nefarious poems truly remain gutter. I change color like a Duraflame cover when it burns, standing firm like polyurethane.
So this whole album is actually dedicated to his father, and this track actually starts off with someone from the hood and talking about what it's like living there. Read not easy, and the person who he's talking to also kind of calls out Papa Tuna, who is his father, and, you know, talks about how great he was before he passed. So it's actually pretty nice. The song itself, Outspoken, is kind of an I'm awesome kind of track, which I have to admit I'm a fan of those kind of tracks. Brings back a feeling of like old school rap to me, saying like I'm the best MC around, I'll take any other MC down. Hey, that actually rhymed. And the way that he delivers it is actually pretty damn awesome. I love that he refers to himself as the fish throughout the track as well. The beat is great. It does get slightly repetitive because he doesn't really do much with it. It kind of just, it's a really good beat, but it just kind of stays there the whole time. But it's just the first track, so I'm really feeling the EP though at this point.
Metamorphosis, can't afford to miss this. Race toward the future sound. Dubstep, tell them what to do. On the 1 and 2, this how we get down.
This is dabbling in politics. I don't know what that is. Yes, it's stand up and talk for my rights. I know what that is. See? And I don't care who the guy is. Do you remember?
This track is Chali 2na's take on mixing dubstep and reggae, which was never something that I had heard before, and strangely, it works really well. It kind of flows in and out of each of the different styles and then kind of packs them together near the end, and I think it's a really cool way to approach this kind of music. It simultaneously talks about paying homage to old school, but also taking new approaches to music for innovation, which is why it's called Remember the Future. The song ends with more talk from the neighborhood and old blood, talking about Papa Tuna and his creativity and his love for his son. These recordings are already kind of like, you know, kind of bringing a tear to my eye. Those are the kind of tracks and stuff that kind of get to me when you have actual audio recordings of the people who have passed, and you're finding out like what they thought of you. So yeah.
You live together, but you die alone.
know that you walk the trail alone.
You live together, but you die alone.
But you get judged alone. Work together, but you try alone.
Yeah, the human crisis and my life's test is to try to conquer my vices with preciseness. I need to stop putting prices on what is priceless. Seek to be righteous, and
Now,
then I'll get a
Ozomatli
good night's rest.
was Chali 2na's old funk group, so I was already expecting some awesomeness, really, when I hit play. And it's straight up salsa. And it's good salsa, too, with the horns and the conga beats, and then the hip-hop beat comes in with his vocals, and they're just super booming, and I think that it came out really well. The song is about the world basically being against you. You're alone in the world unless you work together to make life better. And I think it's a great song. I think it's a good sentiment. And he has some really good rhymes in here.
Haters better stop in the grind. I call them sunrisers when they be blocking my shine. I profess divine with the proper design to keep it popping through the darkest of times.
Forward, for sure, forever. We keep moving on. Forward, for sure.
So I like Movin On. It's another old school theme where it's about, all the other haters are out there, but I'm just going to keep doing my thing. There's a lot of songs like that out there, but I think that this one is particularly good. The beat and Chali 2na's flow really mesh well on this song, and the chorus is really good. I dig Ivan Neville's vocals. Also, the song has some really good scratching in it, and you really don't see that many songs nowadays that actually put record scratching at the forefront anymore. So, except for like the Beastie Boys, but they're like super old school. But again, I appreciate the old school flavor that Chali 2na's kind of bringing to this, and I think that again is kind of a nod to his father, because he was really into old school rap.
Here for the best of my years, but I don't claim the West like the rest of my peers. Windy City, your question, it got me testing you kids. And the lesson is, ain't nobody messing with fish. It's like this.
Into the tide, go in and dive down deep below where the undertow.
And then the finale track actually starts off with some audio from his father. Up till now, it has all been people talking about his dad, and this one is actually from his dad, and it's actually really sweet. I think this is the best of the tracks on the EP. The flow is really good. It goes from slow one moment to fast the next. It feels kind of like a Dr. Dre beat, and then kind of launches into like a light rock chorus, which is sung by a woman named Ming Xia, which she does a really good job singing. She's a pretty good singer. The song uses fish imagery a lot more in this one. He's saying like, I'm the only tuna that swims upstream against the current. Like, I like kind of corny stuff like that, but yeah, he's kind of like my kind of rapper. He is actually quite different. I think he stands out against the crowd. It's a great track to end on. So this was my intro to Chali 2na, and I think it's really good. Is it perfect? No. It's definitely enough that made me want to hear more, which is why I now have him in my regular rotation. I think he's really, really good. What did you think of the samples that you heard here? Go ahead and discuss that in the comments. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. All the links are down in the description. And may you live to see the dawn.